One most common question parents ask teachers in parent-teacher meetings is, "How is my child?" And that's it. Most of the parents go quiet after that, just respectfully taking whatever feedback teacher gives. But it need not be a one-sided conversation, dear parents. Each parent-teacher meeting can be far more productive and effective. This is Neena, teacher, and thank you for joining me. Today, in the first segment, I am going to suggest essential questions you must ask your child's teacher in the very first meeting of the academic year to initiate an effective parent-teacher communication. And in my second segment, we will also go down the memory lane with some parents who participated in my survey. They will share how these meetings were when they were students. Parent-teacher meetings are held throughout the year. Each school has their own unique way of allotting time to the parents. Some schools give no choice to the parents. A fixed day and time slot is shared and all parents have to attend. The class is full of parents and there is hardly any privacy unless the teacher and parents speak very softly. And then there are schools which give an individual time slot to each parent and have complete peace and privacy to have a fruitful discussion. I remember during the COVID lockdown when we had online school, we had a parent-teacher meetings online too. Almost every parent expressed their preference for online meetings for the privacy and convenience it gave. In fact, many felt that even after the schools reopened, parent-teacher meetings should remain online. Of course, there are many benefits of meeting in person too. That's life, always comes with pros and cons. During my survey, I came across a very pro-parent way of allotment of time slots for parents in Australia. This particular school named Hillcrest School conducts its parent interviews like this. The parents go to the school app or website, choose meeting timings with various teachers who teach various subjects from the available slots as per their convenience. So parents get the teacher's complete attention with privacy too. In case they do not find their desired slot, they can contact the teacher on the school app and get a slot they need. Very organized and efficient indeed. The first introductory meeting is special indeed as it lays the foundation of your relationship with the teacher during rest of the year. And as the saying goes, well begun is half done. Time is always at a premium in such meetings. In my survey, I came across a wide variety of time allotted for each parent. So these timings range from 5 minutes to 15 minutes to half an hour per parent too. In the beginning of the year, the teacher will find inputs from you about your child who is new in a class very useful. Now in this very first meeting, if you ask for feedback on your child, it will be too early for the teacher to comment. My reply would be, you tell me, I am the one who needs to know your child better. So in today's video, we will focus specifically on the first introductory parent-teacher meeting of the academic year. Preparing for this meeting will ensure that your first meeting is as productive and effective as possible. So let's get started with the preparations you should make before attending this meeting. First, make a list of things you would like the teacher to know about your child. For example, as a parent, this is the perfect time to share and address any special needs or concerns that may impact your child's academic environment. For example, if there's any learning disability, attention deficit disorder, or hyperactivity. Then medical needs of your child, it is essential to discuss any medical advice from your family doctor that may affect your child's performance in school. For example, any allergies, health issues, etc. This is also a great time to inform the teacher if your child wears spectacles. Sometimes students who don't like wearing glasses get away by not wearing them and teacher too is not aware. Then behavior concerns that may have happened in the past that may deem necessary to share or discuss. For example, habit of leaving incomplete books in the desk and not reporting either to teacher or parents, something like that. Share a few things about your child with the teacher. For example, any strengths, weaknesses, special talents your concerns about the school, any major changes in your family, or anything that is worrying your child. This will help the teacher know your child better. This was the information you gave the teacher. Now, information you need to get from the teacher. Prepare your list of questions so you have a productive conversation with your child's teacher. Prioritize the questions in case you run out of time during the meeting. Now, here is a list of questions you can ask your child's teacher. What is the homework schedule and how is it graded? Homework can be the reason of heartburn, both for students and parents, sometimes teachers too. Many times, a student will do the homework but forget to bring it to school or submit it to the teacher. Sometimes homework is not a priority at home and it just doesn't get done. An effective homework routine goes a long way in avoiding stress. You need to ask the teacher if there are any rules regarding how much homework should be given to the students. Also, whether or how the homework would be graded. Understanding the homework schedule and how much weight it carries is a great start to manage homework in the right way throughout the year. Do watch my video on homework routines to help you organize your child's homework. Next, you can ask, what is the procedure if my child finishes the work early or needs extra help? Getting an understanding of what your child can do after they are finished with their work is a great way to prevent the old problem of child disturbing other classmates after finishing their work. Many higher level students will finish early and they will require an extension or an add-on activity if they have finished early. If your child fits into this category, then pre-planning with the teacher on ways to keep your child engaged is an important topic. Another topic is what should your child do if they need extra help, if they are struggling with a lesson. Discussing what the procedures are for when your child is in need of extra instructions will help minimize frustration and allow the student to understand how to ask for help whenever they need it. There is really no negative stigma in asking for help or in not understanding the lesson or instructions. Once you and teacher are positively clear on this point, your child too will learn to ask for help. Then you can ask, what is the best way to stay in contact with the teacher? Communication with the teacher is crucial in order for you to help your child stay on the top of everything. There are many forms of communication that can be used when communicating with parents, and each teacher has their own unique way to accomplish this. So, during the first meeting, get an understanding of the best way and time to communicate with the teacher. When you are aware of the teacher's preferred method of communication, it will be much easier to communicate throughout the year. Now, during the meeting, do make a note of the inputs given by the teacher during or immediately after the meeting. Many a times important instructions are given and you might think you will remember, but with the other 100 things demanding your attention, sometimes you may forget. Now, after the meeting, when I carried this survey of different schools, approximately 46% schools did not allow students to accompany parents, while 33% did allow students to accompany, while the rest were 20%, sometimes allowed and sometimes not allowed. There were both pros and cons in having the students along for the meetings. Personally, I feel that sometimes thing is best. For some meetings, the child should be present and sometimes not. Anyways, this is a choice in the hands of school management. Teachers and parents don't have much say. Anyways, if your child was not present, should you share or how much should you share and what should you share with your child about what the teacher said? Children are keen to hear what you talk to the teacher about. So sharing is a must. Share the positive things that the teacher said and give them plenty of praise. Then talk to them about what points were discussed regarding their academics. If there is any negative feedback, for example, teacher says, your child is very talkative in class. Have a healthy discussion with your child regarding it. Why did the child feel the need to talk to classmates during a lesson? Was it always something very urgent and important? Ask your child, do you think it's right to talk whenever there's an impulse to share? Suggest what can the child do if next time a thought crosses their mind. Could the child just note it down on paper so they don't forget to ask their classmate in the next break? So have a healthy discussion, not an unhealthy one where you are angry and saying, how could you talk in the class like this? I was so embarrassed when teacher said this. Instead of punishing the child in some way to teach him or her a lesson, just talk to your sweetheart and help the child overcome this issue in a positive way. Your response plays a very, very, very important role in this. Some parents take negative feedback very personally and they react emotionally. Remember, it's not about us, nor parent, nor teacher. It is about our child. We need to help the child overcome any challenges that come his or her way. What happens if you didn't agree with something the teacher said? It's better to stay positive about the teacher or the school in front of your child. It becomes very difficult for the child to choose between the roles of respect and bad-mouthing the teacher. If you have concerns about anything that was discussed, you should arrange a separate appointment with the school to talk more about this. At this point, I must say, at times, you might feel that the teacher is being too harsh in her feedback or it is difficult to communicate with her. You must do something about it. Most importantly, first thing, talk to the teacher openly about what is not right, and if the issue is not resolved, you must reach out to the next in line authorities. Yes, I know parents fear that the teacher might target the child later. Well, if that happens, you reach out again to the senior admin. There are all types of people, whether we talk about parents or teachers. There are times when a parent is not cooperating or is disrespectful or even abusive at times. We teachers also reach out to our seniors to mediate. All said and done, a good parent-teacher meeting will be fruitful when all the points are discussed and a plan of action is put in place for execution. Now it's time for my second segment, which is nostalgia time. Dear parents, do you remember those meetings during your student days? With changing times, these meetings too have evolved. Let's see what some parents here have to share. We begin with Monica from Australia.
So I feel that time PTA meetings were not that organized events. They never maintained the privacy. They used to publish academic performance of all the students in front of all the parents. So I feel they used to, they never maintained the privacy. They were lacking on that bit. Thanks.
Oops, that's right, Monica. Sakina from Sweden remembers, I just remember my teachers gave more attention to the top students. I was an average student in class. That's a sad memory. Ashu Verma from USA recollects, I was always in trouble for talking and getting distracted. Ashu and I studied in the same school. She was a junior by a couple of years. And yes, I remember you were a vibrant, talkative girl, Ashu. Amit from UK shares, mine were exciting. I enjoyed having my parents and teacher meet and hearing kind feedback. That's a lovely memory, Amit. Poliana from Brazil shares in Portuguese. When translated, it means, I confess I don't remember. A couple of more respondents also commented that they couldn't remember. Sybil from Mumbai recalls, when I was in school, my mother knew many teachers personally, so their connection would be different. And towards the latter part, only parents of weak children were called, not the others. Right, Sybil? Coaching classes and special PTMs were for the students who were not doing well in school. Things have changed today. Yamini from Mumbai shares, complains about me being too talkative and less focused. Yes, Yamini, I'm sure we both agree you were and still are a person of words. Haima comments, they were not as intense as they are now. I do not recall a PTA meeting in my school days. Jisha from Mumbai says, during my school days, these meetings were a new concept. My parents never attended even once. Yes, Jisha, today it's a well accepted concept, but it wasn't a big deal in many schools in our student years. Sejal fondly recollects our teachers in our time were very patient and kind. Academics were important and teaching methods were simpler and better. As I was never a topper in school, but was never uninspired to do better and excelled in both the board exams. They inculcated a value system in us which goes a long way in teaching. Good old days indeed. Thank you, dear respondents. This channel of mine is pretty new and I'm still finding my feet. Your responses will not only encourage me but also guide me for my future videos. I really would appreciate your comments. Do share your memories of your meetings when you were the students. It will be wonderful to read your experiences. So that's all, folks. We will meet again in my next video where I'll be speaking on another important aspect of parent-teacher meetings. Goodbye for now. Take care.